Alright, welcome back to the channel. As you can see, we've already started sort of tearing apart everything in the arcade. I've got a couple machines tore apart. I got some boards out of subs. I've got the monitor out of Tempest. But today we are going to start working on elevator action. If you remember from my walkthrough video, this Taito cab is kind of a conglomeration of things right now. And it's been a project I've been going to work on for over 8 years. I pulled out the new monitor bezel that I ordered for this, and it has a 2016 date on the shipping notice. So I got my stuff here from this old game probably 8 years ago, and it's sat in my closet, and I'm just getting around to putting it on now. But this Taito cab was an electric yo-yo in the beginning, just based on the colorings on the side. But it's got a Jungle King Marquee, a Jungle King monitor bezel, and it's got an old beat up elevator action control panel on it because I have the multi-kit installed on the Jungle King board, so it's running original hardware, but it can play multiple games: Jungle King, Jungle Hunt, elevator action, Pirate Pete, and a handful of others. So what we're going to do today is pull this cab out, strip down all the Jungle King stuff, put on all the new elevator action, and just kind of, mostly it's cosmetic, although I am having problems with the monitor, so we're going to fix that up too. And then hopefully we'll have a nice reliable game that looks like $1 million. So let's get started. We've got this little chisel right here. We're going to use that to try to slide along and even this all out so it's one smooth piece that we can glue a board onto to fix this up. Alright, we've cut this little piece of wood, put a little bevel on it. Now we're going to glue it up here. It's not perfect, but it's going to fix the problem without having to take the entire top panel off and fix it. Alright, once that dries, then we can put the Marquee in, do our glass, control panel. She's good to go. Alright, we're going to take and turn our attention to the control panel. Let's start breaking this down. Right away when I took this off, I noticed my player 2, or my 2-player button, is not connected anymore. It's busted off. So there's a few things that'll need to get fixed when we put this back together, but for the most part everything's here and complete, so that's the main thing. Okay, so far this might be the best scraper I've ever gotten. It's a nice long skinny scraper that just slides right behind there and breaks it loose that just took that off like it was nothing. It's still very sticky, but it gets under there and doesn't break. It just keeps ripping it off. That's awesome. And I've never had one take it off that easy. I mean, it's hard to get behind and get it started, but once you get it started, man, that just takes it off like it's nothing. Yeah, new favorite tool for removing CPOs. We will have to try it again with a different one and see if it works as good, but that was slick. All right, here we go. We got our control panel painted up. I did a black on the back and then hit it with a white on the top. This will help the art pop a little more. I mean, you can't really see through the art, but it's amazing what what white versus black will do when you have artwork laying over it. So now we got to figure out where we want this placed. I'm going to put a light under here. Line up our holes where we want them. So we can kind of look. I saved a piece that I ripped off of the old one, so you can kind of see what it looks like, where we want it. We want that center hole right in the middle of this. It's got a nice look to it, and then we just square it up. Huh. Wow. So that really is off, actually. That's where I need to be centered. And that puts us off the edge. That sucks. We are not going to be centered in there. We're going to be off to this side a little bit to make that work. Otherwise, I'm going to have like a edge showing, and I cannot have an edge showing. So we'll just have to butt it up there. And this one actually is a little bit over too. You can see some of that. But man, this is way over. It should be right in there. I am not loving that. Look how much a lip there is. Huh. That's the one I took off. Son of a gun. So yeah, I've kind of gone over this and looked at this every other way possible. There's definitely more edge on this side. I don't know if it got trimmed shorter on this side or what happened, but unfortunately it's been several years since I bought this, and it's just been kind of sitting in my closet. So I guess I should have worked on this project when I first got it, but we definitely have to put it down so that the joystick is centered, otherwise that will drive me absolutely batty. So we're just going to center that. We're going to have a little bit of a lip here. I've got an idea on how to maybe take care of that, but we'll see. I've ordered something that I think will be, I don't know, as good as it's going to get. So let's get this guy centered as well as we can. So this is looking pretty good. I got the bubbles worked out. Before I fold this back over, I'm just going to cut this edge off, because this is the side that overhangs. So I'm going to bring it back from a little bit. Alright, we've let this sit. I ended up cutting the extra edging off of this side and then flipping it around and putting it on this side. You can kind of see a line there, but I don't know at this point what else to do. So, and I also got a little edging banding that I can, sort of a protector I can put over the edge. We'll see if that needs to be put in or if just having it like this is good enough. I mean, already this art is way above and beyond what the other art was, so it's a beautiful looking control panel. We'll make it work. So now we got to cut holes and put the start putting it back together. I probably should have cut out some new wood pieces for the back, but I think these are good and they're original, so we'll see how they last. You can always do that another time. Took and repainted the tops of these to make them nice and new. Seems like it's centered perfect because this little square for the bolt lines up in the exact same spot on this side, equal distance. So I don't think I could have hit that any better. Fingers crossed. we're back out in the shop. Here's the joystick out for here, and you can see there's some pitting and just some kind of general rust going on right there. We are going to take a piece of this Scotch-Brite pad that I have for sanding, and we are going to put the joystick in there, tighten her down. It's kind of an age-old trick, and then we're just gonna pretty much looks brand new. So we've got the parts here to start putting this back together, the joystick. I'm going to take this upstairs and wash it out, though I forgot to do that. We've got the Wiko long skinny joystick, 4-way. Seems like Elevator Action has the 4-way joystick. Looks like some other ones might have the 8-way. It's hard to say, I'm not entirely sure, but it looks like should be the 4-way, so that's what we're going to put in. And I also got this new grommet to tighten up the joystick because she's pretty sloppy. So let's put that in. So at some point in my travels here, I came across this Marquee on Plexi, but it is a larger size, sort of an overprint. And then I also have this old glass Elevator Action Marquee, but you can see it's got a lot of damage on it. But this is what happens, ladies and gentlemen, when you do not clear coat your stuff and you have it out in a non-humidity, weather controlled, area. It just flakes off like crazy. So I'm going to use that to just sort of lay over. I'm going to line it all up. Let's see here. There we go. Our letters are lined up pretty much, going that way. Elevators lined up. And that will tell us how much of this we're cutting down. Yeah, so I've been messing with this monitor like non-stop. The tube is upside down. It's got a G07 chassis in backwards. It's got like a Wells Gardner frame, so I don't know what kind of stuff has been done to make this work, but I took it out, started testing everything. It looked like somebody had done a cap kit, flyback, horizontal width coil. Everything was fine. Then I thought, you know what, I didn't check the fuse. So I checked the fuse down in here. It turns out that was popped. I don't know why, what popped it. Everything on the chassis seemed good. So I put everything back in. Monitor worked. Everything looked great. I tried to adjust the horizontal width coil, and then I got no picture. So I took everything back out, put a new horizontal width coil in, put it back in. Then I got picture again. It was great. But it was even further over and even more squished, so shut everything off, tried to make some adjustments, turned it back on, no picture. So I don't know what's going on. The way this is all rigged up in here, it's a real pain to work on or get at. You can't, since it's in backwards, you can't get to any of the adjustment stuff without like practically electrocuting yourself. So I went down, I found another Geo7 that I have. I'm going to just pull this entire monitor, put a whole different one in, and let's see if we end up with the same problems. Out with the old, in with the new. I've never really taken a monitor out of one of these Taito cabs, but that is actually kind of slick. You know how they have these sort of stops built in? I'm assuming that's what all this stuff is. Because everything just hits just right to keep everything where it's supposed to be. So that works kind of slick. So hopefully we're good to go. Alright, now we'll hook up the power and the video feed, and hopefully when I turn this on, everything will work the way it's supposed to. Fingers crossed. Oh. Jungle King. Well, that's at least something. Colors aren't awful. Need to do a little tweaking. That's a heck of a lot better than it was. Now I can actually get to the adjustment pots. All right, here we go. Let's turn it on. That is one fantastic looking cabinet. That Marquee looks great up there. And actually a lot of the browns in the Marquee and the control panel overlay really match the side of the cabinet. You can't really see it right now because it's all tucked back in there. But when I was working on it, I was really liking the way that everything's sort of matched up. I kind of like this color better than the original elevator action cabinet colors. This, I think I said this was an electric yo-yo cabinet. I don't see a lot of them this color, so I didn't really redo anything. I kind of just kept it original. You could see the hand marks where people kind of held onto the side and wore away the paint and the markings over time, but I kind of like them the way they are, so I'm just going to kind of keep it that way. The control panel overlay turned out good. I ended up kind of cutting the edge from the one side and transferring over, and in the dark you can't tell one bit that it's any different. Colors pop on that, looks great. The back glass bezel art looks fantastic. I'm trying to think if I've ever seen elevator action bezels like this in the wild. I think most of the conversions just had sort of generic stuff around them, but this thing looks great, and in the dark, all lit up, it's really a nice piece. It stands out in the line here, and it's good to finally get this thing fixed and running again. I've missed playing elevator actions, so I think I'm going to get back to playing some. All right, let's play a little. It's nice. Very responsive on that one. Oh. And there we go. We got to the sports car. Let's get the heck out of here. And then rinse and repeat. Oh, I'm shot in the face. Well, thanks for checking out our game. And if you like more of this content, subscribe and like and all that good stuff. Ooh, I got 10th place on here. We kind of drop videos every other week. So thanks for checking it out.